Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday Leeds Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have an away Premier League game against Leeds, and we follow it up with a game in the Europa League against Genk. As you can see by the league table, we're still not performing particularly well. We're down in 12th place at the moment. The players weren't happy that we were playing this 4-3-3 setup, so we've reverted back to the 4-2-3-1 because we have got players that can play in that attacking midfield role. Um, and we're changing into that formation for today's game. We're still going to be in the gegenpress setup, but so that we've got the attacking midfielder in the attack mentality, we've moved to having wingers rather than inside forwards out wide, and with Cook and Hadjo as the two players in that holding midfield, I'm hoping that we'll have that solid platform in defence as well. In terms of recent results, it's a bit six of one and half a dozen of the other. Obviously, you were with us for the game against Coventry and Southampton last time round. We've continued to do well in Europe. We're unbeaten in Europe. We've won every single game. A 2-1 win against Nijmegen and Villarreal, a 3-1 win there. But we lost 4-2 against Watford following a red card for Medina. And our last two Premier League games against West Ham and Sheffield United, we've lost 4-0 away at West Ham. We were absolutely dreadful in that game. And then we drew 2-2 against Sheffield United at home. So we're really not getting into any kind of a rhythm at the moment. So reverting back to this 4-2-3-1, I am hoping that we can find a way of getting a win today. Um, we are under a lot of pressure, but we're going to have to find a way of doing it. Whitbread is in goal today. Biner, Correa, Dixon, and Romano are at the back. Hadjo and Cook in that midfield pair with Medina, Guilherme, and Gluck in behind Sesko up front. Medina is actually his first game back after that suspension. Guilherme has been in fantastic form recently, to be fair to him. He's really dragged us through a few matches recently. He's only got the 2 Premier League goals, but he's been scoring quite regularly in Europe. So he really is trying to drag things through, and yet his performances haven't rated particularly well. But hopefully, we go into today and find a way of getting a good result away against Leeds. They have just brought in a new manager, so they'll be tweaking a lot of things as well. It could go one way or the other. It could be literally one of the teams takes to their tactic very quickly and it goes well. Um, the other way, of course, is that neither team does very well and it ends up being quite a boring game, but we'll see how things go. Romano here with the throw into Gluck, and now Cook trying to cut inside. It's a good tackle by Scott, but Hadjo picks it up. Romano into Gluck again. Tries to get it into the penalty area, and Medina's there at the far post. It's cleared away. Bynut wins the header, though, back to Medina. And now Hadjo into Medina. Lovely little flick ball in, and Sesko has potentially broken his goal-scoring drought. He's not scored for quite a few games now. And there is a hint of offside about it, but I think he did manage to stay on. And after a minute here, we have taken the lead. That could be a big, big goal for us. As things stand, it moves us up to ninth place. We've not actually been in the top half of the table for quite some time, so we've really got to start knuckling down and pushing on a little bit. And I'm hoping with this tactical setup change, because the players were the ones that came to me and said we need to change. So we'll give it a go and see what happens. Medina with a delivery, and Sesko is there again with a lovely header straight from the corner. And it is 2-0 here in the opening 10 minutes. And for the first time, we're actually looking like a dangerous side for quite some time. We've played well at times, especially in the European games. Villarreal, we completely outplayed them. But in terms of the last couple of Premier League games, we have been so poor. Like I say, the Sheffield United game, we struggled to draw 2-2 with them, which is completely unacceptable for a side of our calibre. Cook here into Romano. Chance to come down this left-hand side. Oscar Gluck picking it up. Romano swings it in. Sesko is there with a header, and it's just wide of the post. A chance for a hat-trick in the opening 20 minutes for the big man up front. Good to see that Medina has started to settle into a bit of a rhythm as well. Gluck has taken a little bit of a knock, so we are going to actually bring him off because it apparently looks like a pulled groin. So we're going to get Morel on for him. Morrell, not really a winger out and out, but we will try him in that role and see how he gets on. He's certainly got the pace to be doing that role, but obviously his finishing ability is why we've signed him. He is more of an inside forward, but we'll see how he gets on today, and hopefully we can find a way to bed him into this side. As Luis Guilherme with a lovely strike, and Medina again with a little flick pass for his third assist of this match. And at 3-0, we finally seem to be showing a little bit of resilience here. Romano with a nice pass into Medina, first time pass into Guilherme, and a first time strike into that top corner. And Leeds, luckily from our point of view, are falling apart. But in terms of the attempts at goal, we are dominating proceedings. But we've seen it a few times before. We concede one chance and it ends up being a goal. And O'Connor trying to make that a reality here. And there it is. Castillo with the finish. And once again, we concede one chance and concede a goal. And again, defensively, we've got the quality. It's just not quite clicking, it would appear. I don't know what's going on with it, but it is what it is. We are still comfortably ahead, but we certainly need to push on in this second half, and we need to give our fans something to cheer about, really. Yes, we've done well to be ahead in that first half, but we need to be dominating matches. We need to be really getting stuck into teams. Leeds were actually above us before the start of play today as well. We are going to have to make a couple of changes as well. Biner is going to come off for Ducey. Both our central midfielders are struggling a little bit. I don't really want to change both of them, but I think I'm going to have to. We're going to get Yereshami on. He's not seen too much game time recently, to be fair, Yereshami. So we'll place Dixon into that ball-winning midfield role. And Guilherme is also struggling a little bit fitness, so Youngblood can come on for him. Very impressed with Medina though today. He certainly seems to have settled into a bit of a rhythm today. It's first time I've really seen him take charge of a match, and with the quality he has, he should be doing it more often. As Youngblood trying to find Sesko in the centre there, but it's too close to Martinelli. As Leeds look to clear here from the back. It's a good header from Dixon, and Youngblood picks it up, finds Morrell. Chance to come down that left-hand side, and Morrell straight into the penalty area, and it's ended up going in. It took a deflection off Max Aarons, I think it was, and it is. It's gone in somewhat fortuitously, but again, it was well worked, and having the attacking midfielder in the centre, obviously without the inside forwards cutting inside, he's got the space, and with Morrell and Medina holding the width, it does seem to be working a little bit better for us at the moment. But again, going ahead will be whether it works a little bit more regularly. Dixon, that's a nice pass into Youngblood, picks it up, comes down this right-hand side. Medina's actually gone into that attacking midfield role now because of that change in position. Sesko into Morrell, and there is number 5. And again, it was a very well-worked passing move there. And again, a little bit of fluidity in the movement there as well, which was nice to see. Medina and Youngblood switching positions when Youngblood had to carry it out to this right-hand side. And then we had the overload in the centre. Sesko doing well with his turn, and Morrell finishing well. And at 5-1, it is by far our best league performance of the season so far. Aaron's here with a throw. Morrell intercepting the throw-in and laying it back to Romano. Now Siles into Yereshami. Dixon into Correa. And now Ducey. Ducey wants to play more football, by the way. And every time he's played, he's put in a very poor performance overall. And again, he loses possession there instead of putting the ball in. But it's felt, well, a defensive error there from Leeds. Youngblood should have done better with the opportunity, in all honesty. But that's just me being a little bit extra picky. Medina with a delivery into the penalty area, and Yereshami won the header. It's over the bar, unfortunately. He was just under a little bit too much pressure and couldn't find the finish. But coming toward the end of the game, and at 5-1, like I say, it's very much a better performance from the lads today. We seem to have found our rhythm in this match, but again, we're so inconsistent at the moment. It will take a few matches to see whether this will work on a permanent basis for us. And Morrell with the strike, and it's a good effort again. Martinelli was flapping for it, but unfortunately, from our point of view, it did go wide. But a 5-1 win, and to be fair, it could have been a lot more. Medina with 3 assists in the match, Sesko with 2 goals and an assist as well. So at last, our best players putting in a very strong performance, and for the first time in quite a while, we have hit the top half of the table. And I'm probably panicking a little bit too early, but we are still within touching distance. And I mean, yes, all of the teams above us have got a game in hand at the moment. Fulham are behind us with 2 games in hand now. Um, but by the looks of it, everyone's beating everyone, so we could sneak in to a European spot if we can just find a little bit of consistency in our game. And if we can perform like that, then yes, I think we'll be absolutely fine. But that is the first time in quite a while that we've managed to find a way of doing it. And going ahead, hopefully it'll work in Europe. Because like I said, the 4-3-3 has worked quite well for us in the European competition. So we've got Genk to come up in a few days' time. Hopefully we can find another win from that game. And then obviously we've got a lot of big games to come as well. And we'll come back at the start of January after the Genk match probably for Manchester City away and Swansea at home in the FA Cup. And hopefully we can get a run of results together. Chelsea, Everton, Villa and Brentford all in very, very good form, I believe. Well, Villa are actually struggling, but Brentford, Everton, Chelsea, they're all up there. So big, big games to come. But for the time being, at least, our primary focus turns to the Europa League for that game against Genk. We've already confirmed our playoff qualification. We're sat pretty much top of the table at the moment. A win today, I think, secures our passage into the round of 16. Okay, guys, here we go for the game away against Genk. We are rotating quite substantially for this game because of the slight fitness concerns that we had after the end of that Leeds match. The rotation does look pretty good, though, to be in all honesty. We're going to have Whitbread in goal, as per usual. Romano, Correa, Capelli and Ducey at the back. Siles and Hadjo in the midfield with Gluck, Youngblood, Guilherme and Tell as the front four. So it's a big opportunity for Tell. To be fair, I mean, Gluck apparently is a better centre forward than him. So we'll try it that way around for now, but we have got that ability to be able to rotate the players around a little bit. A number of players have come to me again and said that they're not happy with the tactical setup. Well, we've only just changed it, so I'm not changing it back again immediately, especially after that fantastic result against Leeds. I think what it was, the highest social group in our hierarchy came to me first, and then the next social group came down and wanted to have a piece of it as well. So, yeah, so there's the confirmation. We could qualify for the round of 16 if we get a win today. And we're more than capable, in all honesty. We've done very well in the competition so far. We've beaten better teams than Genk on the run that we've had at the moment as well. The likes of Bilbao and Villarreal, we have managed to beat both of them. So, again, going into this match, I think we're more than capable of securing that qualification spot. We've been pretty much near the top of the Europa League table throughout, and which the latest scores doesn't really matter in this situation. So we'll get the league table up. So as you can see, at the moment we're sat in second. So we have got an opportunity here to really finalise our spot. Siles into Hadjo and now Romano. Going down the left-hand side, gets it into the penalty area, and Youngblood should have scored, and it's bundling around in the penalty area, and Siles manages to get there, but the ball out wide is very, very overhit. And it remains 0-0. But again, we're looking a lot more dangerous in this setup, I think. It's refreshing to see us actually getting on the front foot. Yes, we've rotated a lot today, and that could go against us, but we'll see how things go. Whitbread having to just tip that wide of the post there. Munoz with a free kick that was swung in there, and it looked quite dangerous, but no one attacked it. But Whitbread did have to tip it wide. And from the resulting corner, it swung into the far post. It's fallen to Aguirre, and Youngblood doing really well to win possession back. And we could be on a bit of a breakaway here if Youngblood can find a pass and in the end he has to lay it back to Correa, but we're still on the offensive here, and Ducey coming down this right hand side, and then the highlight ends, which to me says Ducey gave the ball away, which is something he does very regularly, as I mentioned before. Overall, a little bit lackluster, to be honest. Defensively, we look good. Correa and Romano are standout performers so far, but going forward, we have been certainly the better team. We've created a lot more chances, but again, it's just we're just lacking that finishing touch at the moment. And Aguirre with the strike, and he goes wide. Whitbread, the jury's still out on him as a keeper at the moment as well. Whitbread, he's got to be our number one because Gates is certainly only a young backup, but it could be one of the main positions in the squad that we look to strengthen at some point. I'm happy with the signing, don't get me wrong, but he does seem to be a bit of a liability at times. Garrido managing to head clear, and Reece Nico's just received a second yellow card there, and I'm not too sure what for. I don't know if he handballed it or something, but Genk are down to 10 men. Tail to the far post. Guillem couldn't quite win the header. It's fallen for Ducey. He manages to get the ball back into the penalty area, and again, it's bundling around. They've got everybody back there, Genk. And somehow they hold on to their clean sheet. Here is Siles into Hadjo. And Guillem, finally, we break the deadlock. It's been coming, to be fair. And yes, the red card for Genk has certainly helped our cause. But I think, to be honest, we probably could have gotten away with it and got the win anyway today. But we've pushed on and finally converted one of our chances. Hadjo's pass was quite fortunate. Deflection off the defender into Guillem, and he finished it very, very well. And we have a lead here. And I don't think there is any danger of Genk getting back into the game. So we will make a few changes, I think. Tell and Gluck have been very poor going forward. And again, defensively, Ducey has also been quite poor. Rippis is going to come on at right back, which is a bit of a novelty for him. He's normally our backup left back. Morrill is going to come on. So is Sheparach. And we'll get Medina on as well. He doesn't need to come on, but we will get him on anyway. And Capelli can come off for Yerashami. Just switch those two around. And again, it's to be fair, the Europa League has been quite useful for us. It has allowed us to rotate a little bit more and give players some extra game time. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite us in this particular game. Zakira into Yoshiyama. And Vital playing it into Van den Bosch. And now Fabry. Just holding on to it, trying to come down this right-hand side. Lays it back to Seidel. Genk showing a bit of guile here. And Fabry is in. And in the end, Whitbread make a comfortable save. I'm going to call on the lads to focus a little bit. Because even though Genk are down to 10 men, the fact that they're creating an opportunity doesn't really bode well from our point of view. And yes, we are struggling for fitness with a few players, but we need to just pick it up a little bit and just secure the game. And at 1-0, it's a good win, but I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't press on our advantage considering they went down to 10 men. But again, we've got the result. We've managed to give some of the backup players a bit of game time as well. But I think especially after that Leeds game, there is reasons to be positive. We're by far top of the tree. Verona are knocking about on close goal difference, and Celtic are up there as well. But we're pretty much secure in our qualification now, I think, for the Europa League. A number of playoff spots have been secured. Can't quite, by the looks of it, we haven't actually secured our passage to the next round as of yet. We've got 2 games to go against Adana and Randers. They should be relatively straightforward matches. We've got a number of games to get through. Like I said before, we'll come back for the Manchester derby away at the Etihad, and we've got an FA Cup game against Swansea as well. But with games, I mean, Villa are the worst team, believe it or not, in this running that we have. Newcastle, Brentford, Everton and Chelsea all in the European place at the moment. We have got a tough run of games, and hopefully we can find some results along the way. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.